social media. You can also use email and text message marketing, which we'll get back to that. Do y'all hear this baby? Like, girl, wait, I'm trying to film a video. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mo. Today's video is going to be another entrepreneur life video, and in this video I'm going to talk to you all about how I got my first 100 orders within 4 months of me relaunching my store. So if you're new to my channel, you may not know that I own a clothing and accessories line called Urbanly Chic. My store is online predominantly, or at least it was prior to November of last year. I now have a pop-up shop in a mall in a suburb of Chicago. The name of the mall is Yorktown Mall, and it's basically right next door to Oak Brook. So I do have an in-store presence. All of these tips are related to my sales online after I relaunched my store in June of 2020 during the pandemic. So within the first 4 months of me relaunching my store, y'all, this lash is gonna drive me insane. Within the first 4 months, I thought I had a customer, Lord Jesus. Within the first 4 months of me relaunching my store, I hit my 100th order. So I thought I'd share with you all some tips as to how I was able to generate that result, and I still use all of these things to this day. And there's about 15 tips. If I feel like this video is getting long and drawn out, then we can just, I'll chop it up and do like a part 2 or something. Y'all know how I start getting with my hands, so I'm gonna try to keep it together. Now you all know I wrote down notes, so when I look down, I'm referring to my notes. So the first tip is promote. So I really feel strongly about this, which is why I made it the #1 tip. We as small businesses have to understand that we are not a Fashion Nova. We are not a Nasty Gal. We are not Zara or something like that. And even they spend a ton of money on marketing. But as a little business, as a new business or a fairly new business, we have to make sure that people even know we exist, or we have to do our part to help people learn about our existence. And the only way you can do that is to constantly market your business. And when you're starting off, depending on what type of budget you're working with, if it happens to be a small budget, you need to understand that it costs a lot of money to market if you're using like Facebook ads and things like that, or influencer marketing. And if you want to do the marketing yourself and try to save money in that area, you have got to constantly promote using like Instagram through posts, stories, reels, especially stories, y'all. People watch stories. And when you are consistently posting stories, they look forward to seeing your stories. You don't just post just anything. As far as stories are concerned, I tend to add like little, I don't even know what they're called, like movements. What are they called? I don't know, like stickers, things that make it kind of interesting. I don't just tend to add just a photo. It's I often add some sort of something. I don't know if they're called gifts. I don't know what they're called, but I add stuff to the photo as well as text. Sometimes I add a lot of text, sometimes I add a little bit of text to let people know what I want them to do, what they're viewing. Hey, go to the website and check this out. Hey, we only have these sizes left. Hurry up, you're gonna miss out. We only have small and medium, large is sold out, or we only have one left in this size or whatever, or one left in this particular color. I try to use the stories to inform people about what I want them to know as it relates to that product. And I hope that they take some action, which is usually going to the site and buying something. So I'll try to insert some examples of past stories so that you all can see how I go about using Instagram stories. And it does take time, and it takes more time than people would think. But once you make it part of your daily routine, then it becomes easier and easier to get in the habit of posting to your stories every single day. Okay, and posting multiple times per day. And as far as Instagram posts, you need to be posting every day. Sometimes there may be things that happen in your life or whatever, where you take a break, you take a couple of days off, and that's understandable. But even if you do that, where you're not posting at all, I would at least add to my story, okay, if you're not making any Instagram posts, and use hashtags. This video is not all about Instagram and so forth and so on, but I do want to go in depth regarding these 15 tips, which is why I'm already showing 5 minutes in. That's why I think I'm gonna have to break this up, because I don't want this to be a surface level video. I want to kind of go in depth and really help people, okay, and tell people things that I've learned that have taken me a lot of time or a lot of effort or a lot of money that I wish I would have been able to learn for free. Okay, so hold on, I need to drink some water. As you all can see, I've lost my voice. My stepfather passed away since I recorded my last video, and I went home and all that, lost my voice, so I'm trying to get it back. But let me double check my notes about the first tip and make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, pay attention to your engagement, but don't get discouraged by it. Like the fact that people are not liking your posts doesn't mean that it's not beautiful, doesn't mean that it's not engaging, okay? You need to post anyway. My sisters are texting. You need to post anyway, okay? Every single day. Hold on. As I was saying, don't worry about engagement. Don't use the fact that you don't have a lot of followers or people aren't liking it or whatever, or viewing it as an excuse to not continuously post content and regularly post content on Instagram and Facebook. When you post on Instagram, you should be sharing those same posts to your Facebook page for your business as well. And also, I post to my personal page, okay? If you don't know nothing else about me, you know that I own Urbanly Chic. I post to my personal page about my business every day. I'm talking about my story. My personal story on my personal Instagram page, I post to my story every day. I don't care if you get tired, boo. Don't watch it, because I will be posting about my business. So you need to promote, because how can people know that that you exist if you are not telling people you exist? And how can people know, how can they be incentivized or encouraged to go and buy something when they are being bombarded with ads from other brands all throughout the day, all day long, you know what I'm saying? So you need to constantly promote. On social media, you can also use email and text message marketing, which we'll get back to that. Do y'all hear this baby? Like, girl, wait, I'm trying to film a video. One last tip about promote is you can use your own face and body to promote. So for example, if you sell lashes, you should be wearing your own lashes. And if you make it a habit of regularly wearing your own lashes, take a selfie, post it to your story. That's content. And people may see it and say, oh my gosh, those lashes look amazing on her, and go and just bought, there's an order. You just sold, a pair of your lashes just by you wearing them, taking a selfie. You know, you're doing your makeup anyway for work or whatever. Take a photo of you wearing your stuff, you know, and then post it to your story. The second tip is to create beautiful photos and graphics. Since we're selling online, we are only able to use images to sell the product. So it's not like people can't interact with it in person, which is a totally different experience. So basically you need to just go all out. Right? Use correct lighting, buy Spanx. If you're selling clothes and you're taking photos of yourself with the clothes, buy Spanx. Okay, smooth it out. You can be your own model. You can hire a model. If you can't afford to hire one, then you can be your own model. In terms of hiring a model, you don't always have to pay models with cash. You can pay them with product. Okay. And then in terms of finding models, I can make a whole video about that. Use Instagram hashtags, things like that. Make a post on social media. Let people know that you're looking for a model. You can create that kind of post, which is one of the sub tips within this tip, by using Canva. So you can make like an Instagram post where you're saying, hey, we're looking for models. I'm looking for models for my brand. In the event that you can't find one, be your own model, boo. Step out and be your own model. When I say go hard, I mean, this is what I mean. Like, let's say you sell scrunchies, okay? I gotta stop doing this in the camera. But let's say you sell scrunchies. Instead of just laying them all flat on a flat surface and taking a pic, I would do something like smooth my hair into a ponytail and then do a close-up shot of the scrunchie around the ponytail. Or if you have the money, if you can afford it. I'm sorry y'all for being like stuttering and stuff. I'm actually kind of tired and I'm just going through a lot, so I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, but I'm determined to film this video. But as it relates to the scrunchies, for example, if you can afford to, go get one of those like molded ponytails and then put each scrunchie on your head and take a picture of the back of your head with the scrunchie. Thought I had a customer. That's one way I think you can increase sales. So what I mean is, you want people, you need to sell. You need to give people an idea as to how they would look wearing it, or how it looks on the body, or how it looks on your hair, or how it looks on your eyes with the lashes. Give people an idea of how the product would look on them, or how they can interact with the product, okay, and what the finished look may be. And I think that that separates a lot of stores. Some people go really hard. For example, if I'm selling 6 colors or something, 9.5 times out of 10, I'm gonna actually take a photo, have a photo of the model wearing every single color. When you look at Forever 21's website, they're not just like putting up a swatch or not putting any swatch at all and just telling people to trust that it's gonna be cute, they're gonna like it or whatever, and not have a photo. You need to go all out when it comes to your photos. And also, my rule of thumb is the more expensive something is, the more expensive a product is, the better the photo needs to look. Although I will say, when it comes to even cheaper items or less expensive items on my website, I still go all out with the photos. We have $10, $15 tops where I've like gone all out, and I'll insert some examples, okay? So the third tip is that you should have an organized and pretty website, y'all. There are some super successful brands, super successful, and I hate their websites. It's hard for me to find what I'm looking for. It's a struggle every time. There's one website I'm thinking of. You all know I love butterflies, or a lot of you all know I love butterflies. And she had this amazing butterfly bag, and she had the shoes to match and all that. Y'all, I could not find the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're on Shopify, because I use Shopify as my platform host, you know, you can use all of these different tools to help organize your inventory so that it's easy to navigate through your site and find stuff. You can add search terms so people can search for a specific thing that maybe they saw on Instagram and they're interested in and they want to buy. This person doesn't use any of that. This business doesn't use any of that. So it's like so difficult to find stuff. And this bag is like a $150 bag, and I gotta like break my neck going through your site trying to find it. Y'all need to make sure your website is together. And if you don't know how to do it, you gotta pay somebody, boo, and have them help you get your website together. And your website needs to be pretty. It needs to be aesthetically pleasing. And try not to use stock photos. I use them every once in a while, but I try not to. Stock photos, as in the vendor photos with the vendor model, don't like, y'all. When I use it most of the time, it's because I absolutely have to. For whatever reason, I need to get it on the site. I don't have a model photo, you know, of my model wearing it, and I have it on the site. But I hate it. I hate doing it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't want to have the same model photos that a bunch of other stores have because we're selling the same thing. It is a hot mess, and I can't stand it. And I just feel like it interferes with the legitimacy of your brand or people's perceived legitimacy of your brand. You want people to take you seriously. How are they going to do that when you're using the same model photos as all these other models? And I think for some people, or I'm sorry, it's all these other stores. And I think for some people, when they see it, it makes them think that it's not real or something. Am I really going to get this product? Which most of the time you are going to get the actual product. But something about seeing those vendor photos makes people think this is not what I'm really going to get. You know what I mean? So that's my 2 cents about having an organized and pretty website. You should have a professional logo. If you don't know how to make one, you can try to make one with Canva or something like that, or just pay a designer to make your logo. You need to add descriptions, which we'll go into more detail later, and make them detailed. And then you also need to proofread and make sure there aren't typos all throughout your site. Some of these sites, I just go on, I'm like, this is crazy. Like, just take pride in it. If you are already artistic and creative, treat it as such, like an art project, and just try to make it look as beautiful as you can. Okay, that's what I'd say. There are free themes on Shopify that are good themes. Just try to make it organized, clean, neat, have some uniformity in terms of the sizes of the photos. I could go on and on about this because I am so particular about how my site looks, and it's not perfect, but I want it to be as close to perfect as possible. I'm just saying, I want you to go on there and feel like this is a professional site. And I do my own site, by the way, although everybody thinks I pay someone to do everything related to my business, and I don't. I do my site. Okay, I organize it, I maintain it, all of that. Okay, I set up the filled in the template and got it set up and all of that. So don't feel like you have to hire someone and spend all this money getting someone to make your stuff look nice. You just have to carve out the time and spend the time and invest the time, okay, to make sure that your stuff looks professional and looks like you did spend a whole lot of money, although you didn't. You want people to go on there and add to cart and buy, okay? So the 4th tip is review your analytics, including your add to carts, your conversions, your most viewed item, the item most added to cart, and that will help you understand what to restock or what items you should buy, like, you know, similar items. You know what I'm saying? So if I notice, for example, through the analytics, that a lot of people are buying a 2-piece set with a sweatshirt as well as joggers, and I know that that is my most sold item over the past 3 weeks, then I know, okay, my customers seem to really like sets like that, like effortless sets. So then I know, okay, maybe I should buy more sets, or maybe I should restock on that particular set. Maybe that set is no longer available through my vendor, but I know I can buy a similar item like that, and I'm more than likely going to get a good amount of sales because people are buying it. So you can buy more of the same or more of similar items based on your analytics. Also, for the most viewed item, for example, when you see what the most viewed item is, then you may say, okay, this is farther down in the collection. You got to scroll farther down the page. You have to scroll further down the page in order to get to that item. So then you may decide, okay, I'm going to move this item up in the collection where you see it sooner. You see it faster when you get onto that page, the initial collection page, landing page for the collection. And then that will tell you, okay, move it up so that people see it faster. So that increases the likelihood that they're going to see it and not miss it, because they had to flip through all these different pages on the site before they finally get to it. And that increases the likelihood that they're hopefully going to see it, check it out, add it to cart, and then go ahead and purchase it. Okay, so that's the power of analytics. And I feel like for some of these topics or some of these tips, we can have like an in-depth video. So let me know if you all want me to do an in-depth video on any of these tips, and I will do it for you. Tip number 5 is an abandoned cart email. If you don't have this set up, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't you get those emails? And they work. You know, sometimes people, for whatever reason, don't complete the checkout process. And it's not always the case that they don't complete their checkout because they're not really interested in buying or don't want to buy. People get distracted, y'all. It happens to me. And when I get that abandoned cart email, it's like, oh yeah, someone called me while I was in the middle of checking out, or my tea kettle started whistling and that distracted me. All kinds of things distract people during the checkout process, and if they get that abandoned cart email, there is a nice likelihood that they will go ahead and convert. They will go ahead and complete their purchase because you reminded them, hey, you added this stuff to your cart, we saved your cart, come here and check out. And you can use the built-in abandoned cart emails tool that Shopify has if you use Shopify, and you can also set up abandoned cart email flows in Klaviyo. You can set up an email flow in Klaviyo where people get a series of emails after having abandoned their cart in order to try to pull them back and get them to go ahead and convert. And I've had some recovered carts. And you have to remember, we're trying to get to that first 100 orders. Every order counts. They add up, y'all. They add up. So all of these different techniques will help you get to that 100. The sixth tip is don't have too many sales, because if you have too many sales, it discounts your brand. You want to increase your margin. Ultimately, we want to move to profitability. The average e-com store, I've heard a number like they don't even hit 10K in their first year. You want to get, we ain't trying, look, we're in this to make money. We're not trying to just keep investing money that we're working hard for and not getting anything out of it. We want to get to a place of profitability, one, so that we can continue to have our business, have our brand, have this creative outlet, or whatever reason you have for having your store. I'm sure the store has to make money, or you want it to make money so you can continue to run the business, continue to have the business, or grow it. So having too many sales, I feel like, I have a note here that I'm gonna do a separate video on it, but I just feel like we need to be confident about our prices. We need to use Canva to create pretty pics to sell, because people can't interact with it in person. One of the only tools we have to convince them to buy and to trust us and go ahead and make the purchase is by how we photograph and present the merchandise. So it may be tempting because you're not seeing the orders come through to have sales and constantly discount your products, but why would people buy if you're always having sales? You know what I'm saying? Or why would they pay full price? They're just going to wait and say, hey, she has sales all the time, I'm going to wait until she has a sale and then buy. You want them to see that stuff or new arrivals and be like, she waits forever to have a sale and I'm scared it's going to sell out. I have this fear of missing out, so let me go ahead and buy. One other thing that I'll say, and then I think we may stop at this 7th tip, right? I don't know. But one other thing I'll say is sometimes when I'm trying to figure out how to grow my brand, how to progress, how to move forward, I pay attention to what similarly situated brands are doing, or even brands that are significantly more successful, and brands that are where I one day hope to be. So I pay attention to a lot of multi-million-dollar brands. And when you watch them, they are not constantly having sales, y'all. A lot of them aren't. I'm not talking about a Fashion Nova, which sells, Fashion Nova sells such a huge volume that they're able to continuously discount their products and still make a profit. I got interrupted because the customer came in and a whole bunch of stuff has happened since then. My lash came off. It's just been a hot mess. So let's keep it moving with these tips. Tip number 7, installing an email pop-up on your website. That is one of the biggest mistakes I made when I relaunched. I did not have an email pop-up installed. And once I finally got one installed, it was like one of those like spin wheel things. Y'all, I collected so many email addresses and I was like, oh my gosh, I could have grown my list significantly more had I had this pop-up. And I just didn't have one at first because I assumed that everybody goes to a homepage and just clicks the little X and makes the pop-up disappear. No, people were really putting their email addresses in there, signing up for the email list. And you want to have it's not about just having a large list, but you want to have an email list of engaged subscribers, people who open the email, click the email, go to your website, because in the event something happens to social media, you don't want it to be the case that you've solely relied on social media, as a marketing tool. So you know, when Instagram or Facebook goes down. You have that, you have your email list as a backup. As soon as I got started, another customer came in. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that's what happened. So yeah. Y'all, this silk press, don't get me started. But anyway, tip number 8, every time you have new arrivals, you should feature certain products to create FOMO, fear of missing out. So for example, like if I have new arrivals that I just added to the site, I always send an email announcing new arrivals, and I almost always get sales just from those emails alone. And then what I do is I always try to feature certain products, and I try to feature the best products for my new arrivals, like the most poppin' stuff, and I make sure I put those at the top of the email so that people will want to continue to scroll through the email to see if there's anything there that they may like, and hopefully click the email, go to the product, add to cart, and then go ahead and check out. So that's a tip as far as emails are concerned and new arrivals. Tip number 9, tell people thank you and provide a discount code to customers in order to increase the likelihood that they will return. And you want to increase your, returning customer rate just in general, and that's a great way to do it. So for example, when someone orders online, I always include a thank you note, and I tell them thank you. And when I first started the store, I don't do this now. I'm not saying I never do it, but generally I don't do it. But when I first relaunched my store, I always included a customer loyalty discount code or a thank you discount code to incentivize them to come back to the site at a later time, buy something, and then they would get a discount. So that's a great way to increase your returning customer rate and to get additional sales from customers who've already purchased from you in the past. And people like that. They like someone saying thank you for supporting my small business. And when I first started, the notes were always handwritten. Now I do a combination of like a printed note and handwritten notes. So y'all, I had another customer come in, of course. Let's keep it popping or pushing. Excuse me. So tip number 10, invest in some cute packaging / branding. I just think that having nice packaging, customized packaging, I'll try to insert some pictures or videos or something of some of my packaging and stuff. I think it just helps to legitimize your brand. It helps people to remember your brand when they purchase from you the first time, or just any time. I just think that it's just an added bonus, and it just helps to legitimize your brand and make people take you more seriously when they see that you have, like your custom poly mailers or custom thank you cards and things like that. And that kind of stuff is not that expensive, especially when you're new and you don't need huge quantities of it. It's not going to cost you that much money to invest in that kind of stuff. The 11th tip tip number 11 is don't be scared to test a new product and pay attention to your audience. So I have right here headbands. When I first started, I didn't sell headbands, but when I first relaunched the store, but I decided to test headbands and they sold out like so fast. So then I bought a whole lot more. And even now I sell headbands and I make a lot of money off of headbands. People love them and they buy them, especially the kind that I sell because they're popping. So yeah, I got a text. I'm sorry, y'all. So don't be scared to test a new product. You can buy it in a small quantity, and then if people love it, okay, they like this, and keep it going. Or buy more of it, maybe in a larger quantity. Don't go crazy and go overboard, but you can buy a little bit more and just, if they like it, why not? But it needs to align with your brand story and what you want your brand to be about. For me, we love statement pieces, over the top type pieces and things like that. So it makes sense for us to sell these big bejeweled headbands and things like that will go with a dress that you can purchase from the site, or a bodysuit or something like that to jazz up your outfit. Sorry about these kids in the background, y'all. They out here wilding. Okay. So tip number 12, use your income to invest in marketing, inventory, etc. Use your income to invest in your business, period, and try to keep your job initially if possible. This is so important. This should have been probably tip number 2. It takes money, y'all, to build and grow a business. okay? And if you quit your job, you're going to be scared to take risks. If I told y'all, yes, my store has made a significant amount of money in the year and a half that it has, been running. But if I told y'all the amount of money, I'm thinking I got another customer. If I told y'all the amount of money I've lost, y'all be like, what? And the reason I was able to withstand that loss is because I had money coming in. Now I'm saying this to y'all after I've quit my job. After about a year and a half, I quit my job. However, I may honestly go and like do some stuff on the side to generate more income, or get a corporate job again, just to help me generate even more capital to pour back into my business. Because right now, you all know I have a storefront and we're in Q1. You all know Q1 is slow as heck, and I just need more money coming in to just keep me going and keep me growing. So that is one of the benefits of holding on to your 9-to-5, even if you really don't like it. Just know you're not gonna, by God's grace, have to work it forever. Use that money you make and pour it into your business after you pay your bills, of course, and save some of it so that if you have a rainy day, you have some cushion. But as far as the money you have, discretionary money, try to put as much of that as possible into the business. And I'm telling you, if you putting money into it, especially marketing and stuff and inventory, it's going to grow. It's going to grow. You're going to get some sales. And you have to keep doing it, y'all. You can't just do it a little while and be like, I'm sick of doing this and don't do it no more. No, you got to just keep putting that money into it. You have to. You can't be scared to lose the money. You can't. And another way that I think about it psychologically is, before I relaunched my store and I think about the money I made and the amount of money I saved versus what I spent, yo, we be blowing through money. We be blowing through tens of thousands of dollars over the course of years, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We blow through that. So why not take that same tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands and put it into your business, invest it so that you can make money one day. You know what I'm saying? It can generate revenue. Your money can work for you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we could talk about that in another video. So I'm not scared to go back into corporate America, make $1 gazillion and put that back into my stove. Okay, if that's what you need to do, then do what you got to do. Just know that if you quit your job because you're starting your business, you're going to be scared to take risks. Why? You have a limited amount of savings and you're not going to want to blow through your savings. You're going to know once that pot is empty, it's empty. Whereas if you're getting paid every 2 weeks or every month or however, every week, whatever, you know that there's a constant flow of money. And I think that you'll be less afraid to take risks with your money because man, I'm about to get paid again. Especially if you have a substantial income. If you have a substantial income, that's even more reason to keep that job and to pour into the business. You're just going to likely grow even faster because you're able to invest more money into marketing and so forth. I could go on and on about that subject. As it relates to any of these tips, let me know, like I've already told y'all before, if you all want me to make videos solely related to that particular topic, and I can go in depth, okay? Tip number 13, promptly ship orders. If you are already operating an online store, you know that it don't take us long to get our money. Sometimes we get our money practically instantly. So why is it taking you a month? Why is it taking you a week to ship people's orders? Send people their stuff. Even me, y'all, when I shop online, I be patient, but I be ready to get my stuff for a whole host of reasons. Sometimes it's just I really want it. Other times it's I got a trip or I got, to catch a flight, whatever. I'm going to hit the road. I need my stuff. Stop getting these orders. Please, y'all. Please, please, please. Stop getting orders and taking your time shipping people's stuff out. And if you start getting a large volume of orders, I don't think that's an excuse. Hire the help you need. Figure it out. Get people their stuff. Don't drag your feet in shipping people's orders. When customers know that they can rely upon you to promptly ship their stuff, I promise you a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are going to come back, especially when they need something shipped in a timely manner. You're going to be the first to, oh, she don't play. She be shipping my stuff. I order a day later, I'm getting that shipping notification. 2 days later, I'm getting it. Not, it's been 10 days and you ain't shipped my stuff. It's just wrong. It's horrible customer service. Don't do it. If you do promptly ship people's orders, I'm telling you, it's going to work in your favor. You're going to have people who are going to who are going to order from you before they order the same dress from a competitor. Maybe even if yours costs a little more, because you ain't going to play about shipping their stuff and the competitor takes their time in shipping the order. I'm getting all tongue tied because I'm getting really fired up about this because it pisses me off when people take their time shipping my stuff. Now, let's keep it pushing. We're almost done. Tip number 14. Oh, I don't know. I feel like this should be its own video about why I don't pay Instagram influencers. You just be careful, y'all. A lot of times you will send the merchandise to people, maybe even pay them for it, and they're going to give you lackluster photos. They're going to take their time in creating the content, or if they're not going to create anything, they're just going to get the product and you ain't going to never hear from them again. So be careful with that. I've been burned in that way. And when you're new, especially if you have a very small budget, you just can't afford to be shipping stuff out to people and them not taking the photos. But I feel like that could be its own video as well. And then the 15th tip, or tip number 15, is add detailed descriptions. I briefly touched on this earlier when we were talking about tip number 3 about having an organized and pretty website, but I feel like it deserved its own little point, okay, of discussion. We are selling online. People a lot of times are nervous about buying items online, especially clothing, because they are worried that it won't fit and they don't want to have to go through the trouble of sending it back, returning it. If you don't have returns, if you don't accept returns, that means that they're stuck with it and they don't want to waste their money on something they're not going to be able to fit, or something that's not going to look flattering. So add detailed descriptions. Spend the time telling them what it's made out of, if it has stretch, if it has no stretch, if they should size up or down, if it fits true to size, what size the model is wearing, what size the model normally wears, okay, how tall the model is. Like, this is basic stuff that a lot of times people omit from sites, and I'm telling y'all, the number one reason they omit that important information from descriptions is laziness. They just don't feel like typing it out. They don't feel like typing it out. They don't feel like writing it. That's it. And we are online. You need to tell people these key factors. And if you really want to go hard and increase the likelihood that you're gonna, increase the number of sales that you get, tell them what they could wear, where they could wear it, or what they could pair with it. Especially if you have other items on your site that they could pair with that item. For example, hey, we have this dress. It's called the top tier blazer dress, and you can pair it with the, with the Urban Kelly, the Urban Diamond Kelly bag or whatever. Tell them, we have these accessories that you can pair with this item, or we have this top and you can pair with these pants. We have this bodysuit and you can pair with these joggers that we sell. Or in the photo, you will see that we paired this bodysuit with these joggers that we also sell, and put the name of the joggers. Like, that little bit of effort, that it does take time if you're doing a large quantity of products and you're writing the descriptions all at one time. It does take a lot of time, but if you're doing them one at a time, it don't take that long. And those little efforts that you make will generate sales, y'all. They will generate sales. And the last thing I'll say, we've had our 15 tips. I don't know how long this video is going to be and whether I'm going to break it into multiple videos or not. I grabbed the water and still didn't open it and drink any. But the number one thing too, we can add this as tip number 16, is don't quit. When you see people asking multi-million-dollar stores what advice they would give, I'm telling y'all, I think that universally, one tip they always offer is do not quit. I'm almost feeling emotional saying this, because I need to hear this. Y'all, I could have a month. I've had a month where the store has made $20,000 or almost $20,000, and I still feel discouraged and stuff the next month if revenue is down, or just for whatever reason. It's like I get discouraged and I'm like, man, I just want a normal life where I'm not thinking about this all the time. I'm not trying to grow it. I'm not trying to make the dream that I have and the vision that I have come to life or come to fruition. And so I just want to give up on it because I just want to be free from it. I just want that peace of mind, and I just want to be free. That's how I feel sometimes. But I'm telling you, if we stick with it, y'all, it's going to be worth it. If you really want it, you got to stick with it. You can't give up, and you have to believe in it. And you have to believe in it every day. And if you want it to grow, it's your business. If you want it to grow, nobody going to love it or care for it like you. And you have to be relentless. You have to work on it every day, even when you feel like, I'm like punching my hand, even when you feel like it's not paying off or you're not seeing the results you want. Because I think that ultimately the growth that we want to see, right, and the sales, the volume of sales we want to see, it eventually comes about through, the convergence of all these efforts over and over time. It builds up and kind of just builds and builds and builds over time. And I'm telling you, if we just keep sacrificing and working and putting in that effort and going hard, go hard. Like, I almost said balls to the wall, but I already said it. So balls to the wall, hard, go hard. We are going to see some kind of results. And another thing, and I'm done, is you never know when that break is going to come. I just feel so emotional. This is crazy. You never know when that break is going to come, y'all. October, my store didn't make hardly anything. And it made more than 10 times. November made more than 10 times October's revenue. That's God rewarding. I'm not saying I deserve it. I'm just not saying that I deserve it. But God, I feel like, rewards our sacrifice. He rewards our efforts. He's not going to let us just keep trying and failing. And even if you do, that just means He's directing you to do something else. But absent you feeling like God's telling you to quit, don't quit. And that's it. Let me know if you all want me to talk about any of these topics in depth, or more in depth. And I will. Thank you to every single one of you who watch my videos. Don't forget to like this video. Comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to hear, about any of these topics more in depth. And subscribe to my channel, because I love filming these videos. So I don't care that I only have 100 something subscribers. One day I'm gonna have 1,000 something and 10,000 something. I'm gonna just keep doing it until I don't want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? As long as I enjoy doing it, I'm gonna just do this, and why not? But thank y'all for supporting me, and thank you for supporting my business. If you spend $1 on urbanlychic.com or in store at Yorktown Mall, God bless you. Thank you so much, because you, by supporting me, are investing in my dream. You are helping my dream come to fruition, and I am grateful to God for every single order, y'all. Every single order. They add up. Y'all will hit 100, 1,000. I'm now hit over 1,000. I thank God. I could go on and on, so let me quit rambling. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you soon. Be blessed and stay safe, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.